Hello, my friends. My name is Hudson. I am a bold coach and a MAPS coach, and I am so excited to be with you. The only way I would be more excited is if this were live, which is how it was planned. And yet we've got this little storm going by because I live in Tampa, Florida. And rather than risk the fact that we might be losing power, losing internet, I figured let me just record something so that you guys don't have a janky experience with weird connections. First thing you should know about me is that I'm an agent just like you. I'm still in the business of selling homes. I lead a team called the HomeWise team, and we cover essentially the entire west coast of Florida, anything south of Ocala. And with 5 agents last year, we closed just under 1.5 million in GCI for about 155 sales. So I'm doing what you're doing. I'm navigating this weird, wacky market that seems to be changing all the time. It's good, it's slow, it's busy, it's not, it's kind of crazy. So I do what you do. I am a MAPS coach, as I shared, and I am a former team leader. I'm a real estate investor. I own a title company. I'm a dad. I'm married. I have 6 children at home. I live a really big, wild, crazy life, and I love it. And so much of the blessings that I have in my life have come from the bold experience, which is why I love being a bold coach. It's the most passionate way that I've ever been able to earn an income. And I don't know about you. I'm going to take a wild guess that your market is a little interesting, like it is down here. It's kind of all over the place. There's not as many sales as we're used to, and yet it's still busy and like it's a lot. And I know I don't have to ask because I've talked to your leadership. Like I know that for a lot of us, our business is down year over year. I know that for a lot of us, we're not necessarily on track to hit the goals that we set at the beginning of this year or maybe the end of last year if we're pre-planners. And yet, would you agree with me? And go ahead and answer because like your leadership is still there. So just pretend I'm here live, right? Would you agree that there are people in this industry in your area and all over the country that are going to have their best year of real estate in 2023, despite the market, despite the rates? That's right. I know you said it. Yes, you would agree with that, right? In fact, I know a lot of people that are having their best year ever in this business, despite all of the wackiness that's going on. Here's how that happens, and here's how we can make sure that it happens for you. It happens when we get rid of the noise and we focus on our performance. Because at the end of the day, that is the deciding factor. A year and a half, 2 years ago, almost anyone could have succeeded in this business. You didn't need as many tools. You didn't need as many leads. There was just a bigger opportunity to succeed. So now it comes down to us. The market's not going to do it for us anymore. It comes down to our performance. And here's my equation for what performance really is, right? Performance is our potential minus interference. Performance equals potential minus interference. And interference is all of the things you immediately thought of, like distractions and things like that. I would say interference is also lack of focus. Interference is maybe not having enough tools in your tool belt, not having the right systems, not following the right models. It's the things that we don't know, right? And when it comes down to performance, your performance is driven by the relationship that you have with possibility, right? Like when you think you can do everything, magically you do more, right? Our mindset is everything. Our relationship with possibility is everything. And yet we're in a market right now that I know for a lot of us is fascinating, right? So, so what is your current relationship with possibility? And depending on what that answer is, maybe it's great. Maybe it's a little disjointed. And if it's not a great relationship with possibility, then what do we do about that? What is the source of that? How do we change that so that we can be on the right side of the people who are going to have their best year ever this year, next year, regardless of the market? Because you see, we have to identify what the real problems are, the real things, the real challenges, the real roadblocks that stop us from hitting the goals that we set for ourselves, both personally and professionally. And the cool thing about identifying what the actual problem is that when we properly identify the source of a problem, it's really 80% of the way solved. Because when there's no mystery, then it's just, okay, what's the plan? We found the cause, we diagnosed it, now we just fix it. It becomes so simple when we properly identify it. So here's what I'd like to do. I'm going to ask for you to grab something that you can write with, Okay, it doesn't need to be whatever. You flip a page over, it doesn't matter to me. And I want you to draw a circle. All right, draw a circle. My circle's not a real circle, so if yours isn't pretty, don't worry about it. And then what I want you to do is imagine it's a whatever your favorite round food is. It's pizza, cake, pie, I don't care. And there are a possibility of 8 slices, and I want you to draw in 2, just like I've done here. So you've made a circle and you've drawn 2 slices in there. Okay, we've gotten that far. Here's what I'd like for you to do. I would like for you to take that first little slice of the circle, and I'd like for you to label that the things that you know that you know. The things that you know that you know. So, like, for instance, all of you know how to operate your local MLS. I'm sure if you're sitting in this room, you know how to do that. You know how to open a lockbox. You know how to execute a listing appointment, stuff like that, right? The things that you know that you know. Now, that second slice, that second small slice, I'd like for you to label that things that you know that you don't know. Things that you know that you don't know. So, what is that? That's a weird one, right? Uh, Someone in this room, I can almost guarantee, even though I'm not there to see if I'm right, someone has never closed a short sale transaction. And yet, that person who's never closed a short sale transaction, this is not the first time you heard the term. Like, you know that short sales exist. You know that it's a thing that you could learn and you could implement it in your business and probably earn some more income if you chose to. So that's something that you don't necessarily know how to do, and yet you know that it's there. So things that you know that you don't know. Now, the rest of the circle, those 6 unsliced slices, right? I want you to label that the things that you don't know, you don't know. The things that you don't know, you don't know. And if you want to sum it up, you could just call them blind spots. We run around in our day-to-day life totally blind to the opportunities that are around us, and then we can't seize the opportunities because of those blinders. And I want to share a quote with you that I heard from another coach a couple of years ago now that has sat with me the entire time. Like, it hit me like a punch in a good way. And it's really sat with me. And I'm going to say it twice. So if you'd like to write it down, that you have time to do so. And it is this: until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. The unconscious are these blind spots. So, friends, we're in a funky market. It is what it is. We cannot change it. And we can't just say, oh, we'll just wait till it's done and then we'll succeed again, because we don't know how long it's going to be. And the next market could bring even more fascinating things. So we've got to learn how to succeed in spite of whatever is going on in the world, in the market, in the banking world, all of that stuff. And we do that by uncovering the blind spots. We do that by honing our skill. And you guys have an opportunity coming up this October to do just that, to ensure that you are one of the people who is set up for 2024 to be your most amazing year, regardless of what our interest rates are, regardless of the inventory level, regardless of what happens in elections. Like, it doesn't matter. When you have the right skills and they're paired to the right mindset, you can go do whatever you want with your life and your business. And that's what Bold will do for you. So Bold is coming. A lot of you know what it is. Your leadership can help tell you what it is. And let me give you my simplest description of what it is. Bold is a coaching and conditioning experience given through a learning environment. So you sit in a room, it feels like a class. We meet 1 day a week for 7 weeks in a row. It's from 9 a.m. to 2:30. And yet we focus on conditioning you and coaching you. We don't just teach you. Now, learning is great, which means teaching is great. The challenge is that a lot of us have super smart bookshelves from all of the classes that we've gone to and taken great notes on and then did nothing with. And Bold is different. We have you execute what we teach right in the room. And then you do more execution for homework, which is why we meet over such a long period of time so you can implement and change your habits. Bold focuses on 2 things only. We focus on your mindset and any action-based items that you must take to be successful. Because the truth is, you only have control of those two things. The whole world can have a black hat on, and you can choose to have an impenetrable positive mindset. And when you have a great mindset, it's a lot easier to take the actions of somebody who has a thriving business and earns a lot of income. Now, what you can expect from Bold is a boost for your business, a boost for the way that you feel, a boost in your personal life. And I can tell you from personal experience that Bold changed my life. I walked into Bold as a broke, indebted, unhappy at home, $0 earner. Like, it was not a pretty time in my life. And in 5 years' time, I became a seven-figure earner by going to Bold. I went 15 times in 5 years, which some of you might sound crazy. To me, that was the difference between joining the gym or joining and hiring a trainer. I wanted myself in that magic environment that was going to make me do the right things and think the right things so that I could go have a life that I never imagined. I shared that in a 5 year period, I became a seven-figure earner. I am a high school graduate. That is the end of my education. I come from a very lower middle class family. No one in my lineage has ever had a life that I get to live today. And it is super cool. And it all happened because of being in that room. My marriage came from Bold. My children came from Bold. I know that sounds weird. And there's people in this room that have had similar experiences that'll back me up on that. When you change the way you think and then you change the way that you behave, your world opens up to the massive opportunities that all of us have in front of us that most of us can't see. So Bold is wonderful. Now, Bold has an investment of $799. It's not free. I'm so sorry. And here's what you can expect for that. Our average agent who takes Bold will create 11 transactions they would not have had otherwise. Now, I don't know what your average commission is, and your wonderful leadership team can share with you what that return looks like. And yet, whatever that average commission is, I know that it's a lot of money. And I know that you're not all average. So if you're above average, then guess what? You'd probably have more than 11. And if you're below average, by the way, you're not. I'm not even there. And I realize that none of you are below average. And yet, what if you only got five? What is 5 times your average commission? And would that return be worth it? Because the thing is, there's a misconception that Bold is an expense. It's not an expense, it's an investment. If I worked for JP Morgan or some trusted firm and we had a relationship and I said, look, give me $799 and 6 months from now, you're going to earn 50, 100, whatever the number is, you'd all give me your money. That's what Bold is. And the beautiful difference is that you get to continue to implement these things. So it's not a one-time payout. It's a change in your trajectory. So here's my challenge to you. If you are not on track to hit every goal that you've set for yourself personally and professionally this year, you should be in Bold. If you're not outperforming your last year of production, you should be in Bold. If you have any personal things that you're struggling with, you should be in Bold. And frankly, if you don't wake up every morning with a spring in your step, if you don't go to bed excited about what you've accomplished and the life that you're living and wake up excited to go tackle your day, then I'm telling you, I spent a lot of my life like that, and it doesn't have to stay that way forever. You should be in Bold. I do what I do out of passion. That's something important for you to know. In our Bold, we will have fun first and foremost. I don't travel away from my family 7 times a row in 7 weeks to be bored. Like, we're going to have fun and we're going to get serious and we're going to learn. And I will pour into you at the highest level that you will allow me to. Once you swipe that card and you sign up for Bold, I am your coach for life. The journey starts then. You want to talk to me, you want to talk about your goals, you have something you're struggling with, you want to bounce an idea off of me, I'm available. Your leadership has my contact information. You'll have it too when you register. You need things between the classes, I'm your guy. You need things 2 years after graduation. As long as I'm still lucky enough to be on this earth, I'm your guy. I'm there to serve you. So my challenge to you is, if any of the things that I just said apply to you, if you're looking for more in your life, if you're not quite on track for your goals, if you want to go blow things up and go live like you've never imagined you could before, then don't think about joining Bold. Your leadership team has registration forms there. Sign up immediately. Take the form, fill it out. They will send it to my assistant. We will process it. You don't have to go overthink it. You don't have to remember to do it. You can just be done with it and know that you have chosen to invest your time and your money in you, which is the best investment you could ever make. If you have any questions about this, your leadership team will share my information with you. I'm readily available. Goodness knows that I'll have plenty of free time the next couple of days, so I'll be happy to connect as long as the internet will cooperate with me. So have a beautiful rest of your meeting. Grab that form, fill it out, give it to your leadership, invest in your future, and I can't wait to meet you in person. Thank you for your time today. Have a beautiful one.